Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning. Welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. And Dorothy, you had a birthday this week.
I did. Another year older, just like you.
Always in April.
Yes, always in April.
Right.
It doesn't move.
So happy birthday a couple of days ago.
Thank you.
And, last week the Masters concluded.
Uh-huh.
And we've talked on the show a lot about some of the events of spring here in Moore County that kind of mark a calendar. It starts off with the Moore County Home Builder Show.
Yes, it does.
Usually in March, and the Masters, of course, and everything has started to bloom, and we're 1 week out from, I've been here since 1999, and I first came here in 1979. Mm-hmm. And the event that's happening next weekend is Springfest.
Yes, it is.
And
it's already upon us.
You know what that means? When Springfest comes, it means the pollen is gone.
We hope the pollen is gone.
It means that the temperatures are going to actually be in the 80s and almost humid.
Yeah, it's like the start of summer.
Right, it is. And every year they just seem to be blessed with good weather.
Yes, they do. There's very few Springfests I can recall that ever had rain or nasty weather. So,
well, Springfest is an event, but behind the event there's an organization which we want to talk about today, as well as Springfest, and that's the Southern Pines Business Association, SPBA. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be joined today by Jason Harpster from Central Security Systems and Cyndi Fifield. Did I pronounce that right?
You did, thank you.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay. From NovaeDesignGroup.
Yes.
You guys are members of the association and actively involved in the Spring Fest event?
Yes, I'm actually on the board for the Spring Fest.
Cyndi, I met you at the Hurricane Relief Concert in November for Hurricane Florence last year. You came over and introduced yourself to me. How long have you been in Moore County?
We've been here 7 years now. My husband's retired Army.
Okay, because through social media, your name comes up in a lot of different places, and that probably isn't a surprise, because if you tell us a little bit about NovaeDesignGroup, there's a reason why, isn't there?
Yes, we're a business branding group, so not only are we out there trying to teach other companies how to brand themselves through their brand identity, but we teach them how to stand out from the crowd. But by doing that, I get out into the community and volunteer. I probably network 4 to 6 hours a week, just getting out and volunteering, going to different events like the Hurricane Relief. My husband's actually the head brewer there, so I have an inn over at Row House.
I didn't know that.
So I'm always there.
Okay.
But just staying involved in the community, I think that everybody has a civic duty to help the community grow. And by doing that, if it's business related or not, you get out there and help.
Over the years, the aura about Springfest has become truly iconic. Southern Pines gets people from all over the state of North Carolina, not just people who live here.
True. They come from South Carolina as well. They come from many different areas. It's incredible the amount of people that pulls in.
Yeah.
Jason's probably seen it a lot more than I have. So.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I love that Cyndi talks about your civic duty and giving back to the community. I am in the Southern Pines Business Association because of my father.
Okay.
My dad joined the board in 2013, I believe, and Central Security and Sandhills Home Theater have been sponsoring events including Springfest and the Christmas tree lighting and the Christmas parade. We try to help out because the association was paying for speakers and different rentals where we said, hey, we've got this equipment that we use for Movie in the Pines, where we put on movies in the downtown Southern Pines Park. And when you combine that equipment with our bucket lift that we use on commercial jobs, we are able to make some pretty cool things happen. And when my dad transitioned off of the board, that was when I decided it was time for me to get involved. I was president for a couple years, And the way I look at it, I'm pretty much always going to be on that board in some fashion or capacity because
Yep.
I love helping out. These are great opportunities for the community, and they're a lot of fun.
There are a lot of dedicated merchants and business owners in the downtown Southern Pines area, and there's a great spirit of camaraderie. People really do rally together. So when you started it, this association started, I think, way back in 1979.
Yes, that is correct.
And it was really at that time, I remember 1979, it was the first time I was here, it was a one-cow town. It was half the other side of Broad Street, the east side there were no stores. They were just shut down, broken glass. It was all on it was on the west side where all the activity was. But the landscape has changed dramatically.
Isn't that the truth? I remember my dad talking about when he came here in the 70s, and my mom is a local as well. Her family's from the Sanford area. She taught at Pinecrest here. I remember them talking about when the only stoplight in the county was the one at US 1 and 15501,
Right.
and holy smokes, it has not taken long for that to change.
Right, exactly. Central Security Systems is your business. It's a family business.
Yes, I'm fortunate. I work with my dad, my uncle, and my grandmother. Not many people can say that, and I'm very grateful for it.
Is this event, because there are so many different events that you have, but this one is a culmination. This one is the face of the Southern Pines Business Association year in, year out.
It is, and Susan Harrison is the driving force behind SpringFest. She is a wonderful lady that invests a lot of time and energy, and she's been doing this, I think, for 20-some years now. Susan is the one that coordinates all the different vendors, and when you talk about the reach of SpringFest, getting involved on the committee level was really interesting because I not only began to appreciate everything that Susan does in coordinating the event and having all the different locations mapped out for the vendors, because we take up the entire downtown for SpringFest.
Yeah.
We close the roads, and the vendors compliment this show because they say it's one of the best coordinated ones and they really enjoy coming to it. We have a lot of vendors that have been participating in this and coming for a number of years.
Yeah, and it's growing each year.
Yes.
It is. We're getting a lot more of the local businesses wanting to participate as well.
Right.
Which it's hard as an association because it's a true art and craft fair is what it is, and a great family event. So it's interesting watching the dynamics change a little bit as more of our small businesses want to be a part of that. So it would be really interesting to see where that goes through in the future.
There are a lot of artists also in the Southern Pines, Pinehurst area. I know one in particular, Janessa McKibben, is going to be at the event. And I don't remember that there were always so many artists, but every subculture sort of comes to roost at SpringFest. There are a lot of different things to see.
Absolutely. There are other local organizations like the Masons, for example. They have their spot on Northwest Broad Street.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that's involved in the Artist League, Joe Borthwick. She's going to be down there painting portraits. So
Cool.
it's a great opportunity to come down with the family and have those portraits of the kids. She's a great artist and has all of her paints and easel set up there. So it's a lot of opportunities. The kids block is probably the most popular section there. There's a lot of rides and games set up, and there's a little bit for everyone at SpringFest. It's something that you can have the kids entertained, and there's lots of great food that we have there. I mentioned Northwest Broad Street. The kids block is over by the ice cream parlor and So Pie's Pizza, which I think is appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of the food trucks, the food area is on Southwest Broad Street, starting over on the corner by Riot. That is a new business that's on the corner there. That is a great shop for running shoes and different fitness apparel like that.
That's right.
And the food trucks go all the way, starting on that corner of Southwest Broad Street, over to the wine cellar and the ABC store.
Right.
And Eye Candy Gallery. Actually, you mentioned artist earlier.
Yeah.
Frank and his wife over there, that's a great location to check out some really good art.
Lots of nice local pieces. And also across from that, in front of Sunrise at 10 a.m., we have the children's bike race every year too, which is just a great event to bring the kids out to and really kick your morning off.
Yeah. The thing that amazes me year in and year out about the event is how organized the setup is, and how by 5 o'clock on Saturday after the event, how organized the cleanup is. And you drive into town at 5 or 5:30, and 3 hours earlier you couldn't even imagine what the streets look like. How do you do it so efficiently? It's amazing. Truly.
So
Susan
Susan
Harrison.
starts at about 5 a.m.
Crazy.
on that Saturday. Springfest is always on the last Saturday in April.
Right.
And with the food trucks, we have actual inspections for the health department where they have to be set up and in their specific spaces with certain spacing in between each of the trucks by code. There's a lot more that goes into that, so we tend to have people volunteering and helping with traffic control
Right.
show up as early as 6:30. Stuff gets started really early, but that's because it's all the behind the scenes work that gets everything ready for the event to start at 10.
Right.
Springfest is this Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m. And like Cyndi said, we have the bike race that starts off at 10 a.m. We also have other demonstrations with the Martial Arts Academy. Dan Dorton is a wonderful gentleman, and it's always fun to see his students out there. And same thing with Sandhills Gymnastics.
Right.
James and Jennifer Ayers do a wonderful job, and those are always really fun activities and events that we have working into the schedule for Springfest. Those typically take place closer to lunchtime.
Yeah. We're going to come back in the second set. We're talking not just about Springfest. We're talking about the Southern Pines Business Association. There's so many benefits to becoming a member. There's so many events that they do throughout the calendar year, and we're going to talk about that as well. But we want to keep talking about Springfest because it's you guys might be too young to remember the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Love that movie.
Well, so Bedford Falls and Southern Pines have a lot in common, and it really does roost. It comes out to roost on the Saturday of Springfest, which is next Saturday, the 27th, from 10 to 4. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our second set of All Things Moore County. We ended the first set. We're speaking with the Southern Pines Business Association and the upcoming Springfest, which is next Saturday from 10 to 4. And Cyndi, you're a fan of the movie It's a Wonderful Life as well?
Yes, I love that movie.
Do you see the analogy that I see?
I do. I hadn't thought about that, but I really do see that now.
I do it at Christmas time, at Springfest. Especially when you go by the Sunrise Theater.
Yes.
You think of that snowy scene with Jimmy Stewart in downtown Bedford Falls, and everything. This town is so unique, isn't it?
It is. It really is. The dynamics here, I mean, we're a retired military. We've lived a lot of places.
Right.
Just the dynamics here are just so different from any place else. I can see why people are pulled to the Southern Pines, Moore County area.
Yeah. There's almost... in the 10 years I've been doing this, one of the consistent things that seems to come up, there's almost an aura about the downtown area.
Yeah, there is.
It's taken on some sort of status that is, beyond Imagine what it was like. Jason, you were too young when I first came here in 1979. Honestly, there were guys sitting drinking liquor out of brown bags, sitting on the pavement on the east side of Broad Street, vagrants and such. The town has just undergone such a metamorphosis. It's crazy. Saturday, yes, the event is from 10 to 4. But there's something going on after the event as well you want to talk about.
Yes, we are very fortunate to have partnered. Central Security and Sandhills Home Theater has partnered with the Carolina Philharmonic, and after Springfest, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Weymouth Center, the Carolina Philharmonic is having their event Serenade in the Pines. This is an event that's been going on for a few years now, and it's a great opportunity to walk the gardens of Weymouth while everything is in peak bloom. It's the perfect time of year for these types of events. And it's really fun how they have wine, cheese, and different artists and music set up throughout the gardens. What we have done in partnering with them is offering a LG 4K TV that is a retail value of $2,499 that we're going to be raffling at the event. So tickets for the event are $50, and by purchasing a ticket, you are entering yourself in a raffle to win a heck of a cool TV.
That sounds terrific. It's an LG?
Yes, it is. We recommend LG because of the clarity. The OLED has a much greater contrast than your other LCD displays, and it's the type of technology that really takes movies and sports to the next level.
You're talking to a guy who struggles with all the remotes. I grew up where when you got up, the kids were the remote controls in the family.
Some little knob.
Yeah.
Yes, you walk up there. Parents would tell you what channel to switch it to. You'd switch it and go sit back down.
Ryan Douglas came over one day, and he actually installed a set for me at my house. And he's looking at all my gizmos, and he's looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" I said, "I am so lost, but the technology has just gotten ahead of me. But the picture quality is outstanding, isn't it?"
Absolutely. And I know exactly what you're talking about because it used to be that we would have a basket to keep all of our remotes in. And I've seen this at other homes too. It's kind of the nature of the beast when you have, a different DVD player and cable box and TV. And if you have a surround sound receiver, you can get a lot of remotes really quickly. But the good news is it doesn't have to stay that complicated. We can simplify those solutions and even set it up where you can use your phone or iPad as one remote to control everything.
Cyndi, when I lost a picture as a kid, I would get up and I would adjust the antennas on top of the TV. Today, if I lose a picture, I freeze. I make 3 phone calls. Someone has to get over to help me because I am completely clueless. No matter what I touch, I'm going to screw it up. It's just the way it is.
Well, I'd suggest if you have that problem or any questions, give me a call.
I think so.
Our office specializes with helping people out with those types of questions and issues. It's nice to deal with a local family business that is going to be able to either help you over the phone or be able to send someone out to take care of it.
One of the things you just mentioned as a family business, the Southern Pines Business Association, so many of the businesses that are members are entrepreneurs. They are independent business owners.
Yes.
Not the big box retailers per se, but they're independent contractors, so to speak. It takes a lot of courage to be in the retail business when you are, a one store type operation, and it's a challenge.
It is. Even for our franchise owners that are here, they're all locally owned. They've invested their heart and soul into those businesses, just like any other business owner has.
Right.
I know neither one of us are franchise owners, but we have members in our group that are. And just to see the dynamics of the role that they play in their business is no different than what we play in ours. They just have a bigger profit margin they have to meet in order to keep their franchise.
So as a branding specialist, NovaeDesignGroup, what's the relationship between improving your brand name and being a member of the Southern Pines Business Association?
Well, the relationship for me was just a way to give back. I was brand new. I'd just gotten my feet wet here. I'd been freelancing for years as a military spouse, moving around. Went back to school, decided to open my own company, and immediately was when I did a ribbon cutting through the chamber, and Jason and some others had come out and invited me over. Next thing I know, I was in a board position with them, which was perfect because I believe even as a military spouse, whenever we moved from place to place, we had to jump in with both feet if we wanted to do anything in the community, and it was just a great opportunity. It really had nothing to do with what I was doing at the time. When I joined the association, I just knew as a business owner what was going to be best for my business, and that was for me to be out in the public and working with others, getting to know people. Moore County's dynamic is different in the fact that this is really, truly a face-to-face community. It really is. I mean, and if you learn that quickly on, then you can really do well in all areas and aspects of your business and personal life. It's those that sit at home waiting for the business to come to them, or that are still sitting there a couple years later going, well, do I close the door now?
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I call it eyeball to eyeball marketing.
Yes.
And 2 years here is a lifetime. If you do all the right things and you are out there genuinely from your heart doing what you like to do, but meeting people, 2 years is like 10.
It is.
Right? Compared to an urban area where there's so much anonymity, here you can really make an impact in a very short period of time.
You can. You really, really can. And it's not just being involved in the SBBA, but it's getting involved in those civic organizations like Rotary or Kiwanis, anything like that, that really helps you get out there and get to know people.
Right.
And if you can just remember that, it's not always about the money. Do your passion, follow your passion, do your dream, and it'll eventually come.
Dorothy, do you think that she's heard a couple of our shows in the past? I think so. She's nodding her head yes. I've lived here for this will be my 20th year. And I agree with everything you said. I'm in lockstep with it. This is the antithesis of a big urban area like New York or Washington, D.C., and there's an organic element to it that is so cool.
Yes, organic. That's so funny you mentioned that word, because as my company, what we do is we focus on the organics of your business. That's really what drives us to help you build your company.
Right.
We tell people brand identity, anybody can, do a brand identity. Graphic designers throw brand identity together all day long. They work with web designers that do that. But we take it beyond that step. We develop your brand identity, but at the same time, though, we're focused on who you are, what you do, and why you're different. What sets you apart? How do we clear out that noise in the background so that you stand out from other people? And organics, face-to-face, getting out there, getting to know your community is the biggest step in that.
And one of the things you guys do in that regard are the mixers that you have. Tell me about those, the Southern Pines Business Association mixers.
I'd love to tell you about our most recent mixer, but I have to give Cyndi and her team at Nova Design a shout out, because I am a proud testimonial of these organic results and how she does her business. I cannot compliment her enough for that. She has helped me for the past couple years in getting rack cards and other printed materials together for events like Springfest, and really given me a lot of insight for social media and different marketing. Cyndi doesn't brag about herself enough, but she is on the media committee for the SPBA, and she is one of the reasons that the association has really blossomed over the past few years. We now have more members than we ever have previously. I think that the current president, Kevin Lindsay with Crawford Design Group, and of course past president Michael White with Dreyer Financial, I think these gentlemen and the other members of the board have done a great job in culturing these events to really fit the atmosphere of our community. The socials take place on the third Thursday of each month, and this past month we were fortunate to be hosted at Carolina Dance Works. I'm not sure if you guys know Debbie and Bruce Hansen, but they are tons of fun. I actually had the pleasure of meeting them previously. Bruce helped me get ready for my wedding and gave my wife and me some dance lessons beforehand.
That's
so
sweet.
I've got a special spot in my heart for those guys.
Wow. The more you get involved in the community, there starts to be a shift where things start to come to you. As long as you're out there making waves and creating ripples, it comes back. The water comes to the shore, so to speak. I've seen that so many times, and
It does.
people who have the right formulas can skyrocket, and the people that don't have the right formulas can not be engaged and sort of be tangential to the inner circle.
Yes.
And you see that all the time.
I do. It's interesting because we work with a lot of different companies within the business association and as a personal company, and it's just interesting to see the ones that come and go because they refuse to step into that circle. They're just on the outside looking in, and then they're wondering why things aren't happening. Just like when we offer membership, it's just like anything else. You get into it what you put into it.
Right.
You get out of it what you put into it. I'm sorry.
Right.
And if people aren't showing up and doing their part, then they're wondering why they're a member. As a member to the SPBA, we have so many wonderful opportunities for people to come out, not just our socials, but to these big events, to come out and support it, to be on a committee. Oh, to please be on a committee. As a committee chair myself, I know the struggle of getting people out there to really help us and to move forward, but we couldn't do it without our volunteers. And Jason's so sweet to give me credit, with the media committee and stuff. But honestly, my counterparts, Julia Brockmeyer with More Choices and Ashley Haddock with Pinehurst Homes, the three of us, you didn't find one of us without the other the last few years as board members there, because we were always out there making sure that people knew who the SPBA was. We brought our social media from 1,200 people to over 2,500 people in just the last couple of years, just getting the word out there and really focusing on that, making sure people understood why it's important to be a member and what we do for them.
Yeah.
But it's also what can they do for the, for the SPBA, for the association. There's so much out there, so many opportunities that people miss out by just saying, yeah, I'll be a member, send in a check, and then we never hear from them again.
Yeah. We've had the privilege of having Julia Brockmeyer from More Choices on
Yes.
frequently over the years, and Ashley Haddock we have the pleasure of working with. She's also a broker at 4 Properties.
Yes.
And she's a can-do person and very proactive and very much ingrained in the community. For all the new people coming into town, whether they're military transfers or whether they're coming here and they're starting a business, some of the events that you guys do that people might not realize, it's the Southern Pines Business Association. In addition to Springfest, the annual sidewalk sale in July, the downtown Christmas trees, you do an annual holiday open house, the Christmas parade with Santa, the tree lighting in November, and First Eve, which gets a ton of publicity.
It does.
We're going to come back in the third set. Want to talk a little bit more about the Southern Pines Business Association and more about Springfest coming up next week from 10 to 4. And then there's going to be a special event with the Carolina Philharmonic from 4 to 6 over at the Weymouth at the Weymouth House?
Yeah, at the Weymouth House, the Weymouth Mansion and the surrounding gardens. It technically goes by the Weymouth Center for Arts
Weymouth
and
Center.
Humanities. And yeah, the folks over there do a great job.
We'll be right back. This is All Things Moore County. It's time to break for our special segment of Safe and Sound, safety tips for citizens of Moore County with retired Secret Service and Drug Enforcement Agent Doug Tuxbury.
Welcome to More Safe and Sound. I'm Doug Tuxbury. The purpose of this podcast is to provide you with information that you can use to keep yourself and your loved ones safe and sound. Consider this your Community Watch message. I hope you find the information to be useful. Good morning. Today I want to talk about aggressive driving and road rage. Did you know that the term road rage was coined by a Los Angeles radio station after a string of shootings on their freeways? The National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration defines road rage as when a driver commits a moving traffic offense so as to endanger other persons or property. An assault with a motor vehicle or other dangerous weapon by the operator or passenger of one motor vehicle on the operator or passengers of another vehicle. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration makes clear a distinction between road rage and aggressive driving. Road rage is a criminal charge, and aggressive driving is a traffic offense. You may think that road rage is something that happens to other people. However, the truth is many of us are guilty of aggressive behavior on the road. So let's take a road rage quiz and let's answer these questions as honestly as possible. First, do you regularly drive over the speed limit or try to beat red lights? 2, do Do you tailgate or flash your headlights at a driver in front of you because you think they're driving too slow? 3. Do you honk your horn often? 4. Do you use obscene gestures or otherwise communicate angrily at another driver? If you answered yes to any of these, it is possible you are susceptible to road rage. Road rage incidents usually occur because a person is under stress in other areas of their life. Traffic congestion can lead to a road rage incident, and sometimes it's perceived that someone has acted in an aggressive way, either intentionally or on purpose. Do you ever think that your actions may cause an aggressive driving or road rage incident? Let's ask these questions of ourselves. Do you frequently use your phone while driving, otherwise driving while distracted? Do you keep your high beams on regardless of oncoming traffic? Do you switch lanes or make turns without using your turn signal? Do you cross several lanes of traffic at the last minute to get to an exit ramp? Do you fail to check your blind spot before switching lanes and make sure you're not cutting someone off? Again, if you answered yes to any of these, you may be contributing to road rage incidents. Here are some statistics on road rage compiled by the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration regarding road rage and aggressive driving. Number 1, 66% of traffic fatalities are caused by aggressive driving. 2, 37% of aggressive driving incidents involve a firearm. Number 3, males under the age of 19 are most likely to exhibit road rage. 4, half of drivers who are on the receiving end of aggressive behavior admit to responding with aggressive behavior themselves. Number 5, over a 7-year period, 218 murders and 12,610 injuries were attributed to road rage. And number 6, 2% of drivers admit to trying to run an aggressor off the road. With all this said, how do we handle road rage? First, whether your fault or not, never react or retaliate to another driver. This just escalates the situation. Number 2, avoid eye contact. Number 3, practice safe driving habits. Number 4, do not give in to feelings of anger or rage on the road. Number 5, think twice before you honk that horn or flip that finger. You never know what reaction you may get from the other driver. And number 6, remember that getting home safely is more important than trying to teach someone a dangerous lesson. For more information regarding road rage and aggressive driving, go to dmv.org. If you have a topic you would like for me to address, please email me at moresafeandsound@gmail.com. That's MOORESAFEANDSOUND@gmail.com. That's it for this podcast. I'm Doug Tuxbury. Stay safe.
Welcome back to our final set, and this is our final radio show before Springfest next week, on next Saturday from 10 to 4. And it's just a great time of the year because it just kicks in the spring and the summer season, which is just a great time of the year to be here in Moore County. We're going to talk more about the event in just a few minutes, but I want to focus a little bit more about the Southern Pines Business Association, the organization, some of the things that you do throughout the 12-month year, not just this particular event. You have is it a publication that you have, a mailer? Is it called Talk of the Town? Is that?
Well, we have a monthly newsletter that has current events and opportunities for networking that goes out to all of our members. And again, that's once a month that goes out. Talk of the Town is an event that has been going on for about 1.5 years, and it is a great opportunity for business owners to get in front of and ask questions to the town manager, Reagan Parsons,
gotcha. Okay.
police chief, Bob Timmy, and we also have the assistant town manager, Chris Kennedy, who often comes and gives us updates on new projects going on in the town and upcoming considerations that may impact businesses. At the last Talk of the Town, for example, we heard about the new schools and the fire departments that are being built, and other events that are affecting downtown businesses. A lot of our members are from the central downtown area, and traditionally it was those brick and mortar stores that made up the bulk of the association. It's fun to see the dynamics of the SPBA changing, however. Even though all of our events, including Springfest, take place in downtown Southern Pines, we're getting a lot more diversity with members from Aberdeen, Pinehurst, and surrounding areas. The next Talk of the Town is going to be on June 13th at the Southern Pines Fire Department at 8 a.m. This is, like I said, a great opportunity that is for members only. We try to have benefits that make membership worthwhile, and while guests are available to attend any of the socials, and I highly encourage, if you're interested, to come out to our next social that is going to be at Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More on May 16th. Again, our socials are on the third Thursday of each month, and they occur from 5:30 to 7. Typically, we'll have heavy hors d'oeuvres and some refreshments, so it's a great opportunity for networking. A lot of times...
Door prizes.
Oh, and door prizes.
Gotta have door prizes.
Make sure you bring your business cards, because you will be sorely...
disappointed if your name's not in that drawing.
Yes, we've had some great prizes that oftentimes the member businesses, you have to be a member to host a social. A lot of times we'll get some great prizes from those hosts.
Just as much as the event, Springfest, becomes a networking opportunity, so do these meetings that you have amongst your association members. It's a great networking opportunity. Cyndi, what you were talking about, eyeball to eyeball.
Yes.
Getting in front of people.
Definitely. I mean, anything that the SPBA is going to do is going to benefit our members in the end. And being able to come as a guest, especially, you still have the opportunity to hand out your business card and get to know other businesses in the area that may not be aware that you're even there.
Yeah.
And if they are, they may not know who you are, so they haven't gone there. Like I said, face to face, this is how this community works. When a new business starts, as a branding company, we tell them, go join an association, go join the chamber, go join something that people are going to see you and get to know you. Because it doesn't matter how long you've lived here, how much you volunteered in the community before that, once you put on that business face, you're a brand new person, and they want to see you in that aspect, volunteering and getting to know the community. Networking, come to these events. The socials is the perfect opportunity to come out and meet somebody new. If you need to be a guest, call Jason and I will bring you in as a guest. We love to bring people in and let them introduce. And one of the things we always tell is that your business does not have to be located in Southern Pines. We have membership all over Moore County that come out to join to see what it's about. So, sometimes they join, sometimes they don't. But being that we are the largest business association in Moore County, that makes a huge difference for who we're networking with and what we're doing. And that's what helps us support these events that we do.
People can go on your website, and they can look also at the membership, what it costs to join. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because it's very reasonable.
It is. You want to take that?
Absolutely. So membership is $150 a year, and that is done on an annual basis. For nonprofits, we discount that so that it's $100 for nonprofits. And that, we're always excited to see them get involved, especially if it's for promoting special events they have, or participating at Springfest. We have a lot of, whether they're, members or nonprofits, we have a lot of people that participate and join for that reason. You can find this information about Springfest and our other upcoming events on our website and our Facebook. The website, Cyndi, correct me if I'm wrong, is southernpines.biz?
Yes, southernpines.biz.
Very intuitive, actually. $150 membership, if you amortize that over a year, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know any business person that wouldn't put $150 into one business contact.
Yes.
And when you think about where that could go,
You know, you mentioned A Wonderful Life and
Yeah.
the comparisons between Southern Pines and that
Bedford Falls.
and Bedford Falls. You know, one of the things that really resonated with me when you were talking about the Sunrise Theater earlier were all of the Christmas trees that we have set up. You know, we are the reason that those are here. We purchased those trees from the Sandhills Rotary Club. So those trees, they come from the local North Carolina mountains, but we're still giving back and supporting other charitable organizations with our efforts there. You do not have to be a member to participate in the trees, and it's something that we encourage businesses to decorate the trees in front of their shops, or even if you're not downtown, do something fun with the tree to raise awareness. And you know, that is the main reason why the photo contest, which Cyndi has helped out with every year and taking photographs, and it's a lot of fun. So it's not just, you know, the same old, you know, show up with business cards and a handshake, and it is a much more of a community feel, and I'm proud about that.
Yeah. You mentioned the discounted rate to nonprofits. Jason, Cyndi, the event next week, Springfest, you are going to have a lot of the nonprofit organizations at the event for informational purposes, to make people more aware of some of their the reasons that they're there and what they do and how they provide nets to the citizens of Moore County.
Yes, we have Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Okay, shameless plug. Girl Scouts will be at the Southern Pines Business Association booth selling Girl Scout cookies. So come buy the cookies while they're still available.
They're still selling them?
We are. Official season has ended, but unfortunately there's a few troops like mine that only has 2 girls in it. Our girls are older. They're ambassadors, which is the oldest level you can be. And with 2 girls trying to sell cookies, and one of the girls is always one of the top sellers in the county, we just ran out of time this year with the weather and life crises and things like that. So Girl Scouts will still be selling cookies out there. Boy Scouts will have a booth. Boy Scouts come in. They actually do the cleanup at the event. So if you see a Boy Scout walking around, shake his hand. Well, maybe not shake his hand. Give him a salute. He'll be taking out the trash.
That's a local Troop 223, our Southern Pines Boy Scout troop that does that.
They do a great job too. But we have all kinds of nonprofits. I mean, will Rotary be there this year? I know Kiwanis will be there. Jason's a Rotarian. I'm a Kiwanian, so you know.
We like to butt heads sometimes and poke fun at how one of us is better than the other in certain ways, but it's all for good fun because we're giving back to the community and having fun while we're doing it.
It is. But if you really want to join a great group, come to Kiwanis with me. But anyway, I know Kiwanis will have a booth there. Kiwanis will be starting their blueberry sales, which I'm heavily involved in as well. So if you love fresh blueberries, that's the place to go.
I believe the
Not
Red
too
Cross.
early. Not too early for the blueberries?
No, they won't be out until the first weekend in June. We're
that
doing
makes sense.
sales for
This
them.
this is a major fundraiser that they do, and it's a great opportunity to get all the berries that you need for pies over the summer.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, great. You can just eat them right out of the basket too. They're so delicious. But even people like the Moore County Greater Sandhills Pageant Group, they're going to have a booth. They're getting ready for their next run. We just had the Miss North Carolina Outstanding Teen Pageant this past week. I'm on their committee as well.
Are you really?
And so we got to see one of our girls from last year win
when
this
does
year.
she sleep?
She's busy. She does a lot.
About 29 hours. Adult ADHD, 29 hours in a day. But I mean, just great opportunities of organizations that are going to be out there. I can't think of a nonprofit that I personally know that won't be there. What about you? There's so many that come out. I haven't seen the full list this year, and even though I'm on that committee, Susan kind of takes over that, and we just show up and we're voluntold at that point. So
I've always thought of Springfest as a celebration of living in this area.
Yes.
And that's what's layered out on the streets. And the demographics have changed dramatically. You see a big difference in the age makeup and the breakdown. The number of kids over the last 10 to 12 years, they've taken over.
They really have. It's incredible. I think we can blame the military community on that. Being retired military, I'll take some of that blame. But we come with children, like it or not. I mean, I have 4 children myself. Many military families have a minimum of 2, if not greater. I mean, I know families with 6 children. So when they find a great area and they start moving there, they kind of change the dynamics to begin with. But they love events, community events. Military is all about the community. So Springfest is the perfect opportunity to come and mix and mingle with some of them too.
So, that's one of the reasons that our Movie in the Pines showings have become so popular. Before Springfest, we are showing our very first movie in the downtown park. This is next Friday. We start at sunset. We have to wait for the light to get dark enough so that the projector and the screen really pop and you can see everything well. But we encourage families to come out early to get a good spot for the movie on the grass in the downtown Southern Pines Park. Bring a blanket or a lawn chair. You know, we also have other food vendors that come out for that. It's a great opportunity for a free movie that Central Security and Sandhills Home Theater puts on. We do 4 movies in the spring and 4 movies in the fall as another way to give back to the community and have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, it's perfect timing because that same evening is the Friend to Friend 5K. So you can go run and then come chill out with your kids afterwards. So it makes for a great community event all around. You're supporting a nonprofit, then you're coming over and just hanging out and supporting the local businesses out there selling food and stuff. Yeah. And they always pick the cutest movies too. Yeah. So my youngest is 17, but I still make her go sometimes with me. So.
I'm glad you mentioned Friend to Friend because they were on just about a week ago, and their 5K race
Anna's amazing.
Friday.
Yeah.
Anna's amazing, and it's a great way to start the weekend. And we talked about it as Springfest weekend. That's how big it's become. Yeah. And so they picked that Friday evening at 6 o'clock at the Southern Pines Brewery to start their 5K race. It's a big fundraiser for them, and they'll be at the event on Saturday, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they are. I don't think that they would miss it.
Right.
So. But for those of you that haven't run the Friend to Friend 5K, just be warned that some of us are slower than the others, and to be kind.
So you're a great spokesperson. Your enthusiasm is so genuine and so heartfelt, and it just comes out so naturally. Well, there's a difference between joining a business association and doing it with a servant's heart versus joining a business association and thinking, what's in it for me?
There really is.
Big,
that's so true.
Qualitative difference. And people can sniff that out a mile away. So if you are doing it, we've been members for I don't know how long, and we get newsletters. We get to be kept up on what's going on in town, and it's become a big deal. So I encourage people who are looking to spread their wings and to do it the right way to look into the Southern Pines Business Association because there's instant value. It's very cost effective. And it is very organic. The Southern Pines Business Association is a great organization. Springfest is one of the most iconic events held in Moore County, and I would put it up against any event over the 12-month calendar. And it's going to be next Saturday from 10 to 4, so we hope people come out. You can go on to your website at southernpinesbiz.biz.
Southernpines.biz.
Southernpines.biz for more information.
And our Facebook also has everything on it. This is another way that Cyndi helps out with the association and keeping everything current.
We need to give Cyndi a few more jobs. I don't think she has enough. You guys were great to come in and join us. Good luck next week. I know it's going to be a great event.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. This is All Things Moore County. Have a great week.